this is how I think they have to do this to get us to want it, right? So in 2016, they put this actor named Donald Trump in, and he kind of does good. In the eyes of the people, he's doing things, he's got the best economy, and it's actually affecting the American people in a way. The other side, or the perceived evil side, is actually taking steps to constantly ridicule this guy and make it look like he's the worst thing ever. Normal, like people like us say, "Wow, that's weird." It's weird, right? And so in the middle of it, there's a pandemic that allows them to go hard on the dystopian stuff, and we get a little taste of what 1984 would be like, right? We need to have that taste so it's normalized, right? So they basically ruin his presidency and shit all over his legacy. And here comes the election of 2020, and they made it obvious that they took it, right? And that's part of it, right? Because they have to show us what they're capable of doing. They have to show us it's all a skit. And think of this, right? So they basically hid Biden that whole election cycle, right? And if they can do things like that, they can also not air things like the vans that were pulling up and dropping off massive amounts of ballots in the middle of the night. The fact that at the last second Biden got all those votes, the mail-in shit, like they could not tell us that shit, right? Just like they don't tell us other things. You get what I'm saying? So they had to show you that they stole it so that they could create the January 6th thing. And that was a big part of it too, because they need to make it look like it's Donald Trump versus them. They need this. And I can't believe believe that people believe that was actually an insurrection when nobody brought guns. I don't know if you saw what I saw, but I saw the police literally open the door for them and wave them in. But that's beside the point. They needed that in order to make it look like he's the good guy and they're the bad, right? The woke shit, I think, was just a tool, and I think they're going to stop the whole woke thing. I think it's done its damage, everything they need to do now, and this will, by stopping the woke train, all those people that completely jumped on it and felt like they were really being catered to are going to freak out when they realize that it was just a fad and they used you to destroy certain parts of the world. And they're gonna really freak out. Like we're starting to see it already, right? Because I think they used it for what they needed it for. There was this lady that did a study on every empire that's fallen around the last 10 or 20 years of that empire. She noticed that the society moves more towards gay and more towards pompous, what's the word I'm looking for? Pompous, bureaucratic shit, right? Like really weird technical tape, procedures, bureaucratic tape, shit like that. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. So they needed that part, right? The woke part, I think, is going to go out the window. They're not going to cater to it anymore. And it's done its part. Then So they stole the election. Okay, so here it is. They've even said it when Donald Trump got elected. They even said it that it's a mandate. The American people wanted this, right? It's a mandate. The American people voted for it. So, to me, that says that we're okay with anything he does, right? And this is where it's pivotable. Think of this. They're televising the people getting wrapped up and sent out, right? They're actually showing it. Now, in all the years of me being arrested for stealing, I've been arrested over 20 times for stealing when I was a drug addict, right? Never once did I have camera crews come up to me, and never once did the cops allow the window down so that I can spout a bunch of government talking points. That never happened, right? And there's a video of that. We could probably watch it, but I want to keep this shorter than it already is. So there's that, right? The guy, okay, so they're showing it, right? They're showing it, and they're showing him right here really get to this lady's by saying shit like, she's saying 18 months to rebuild, and he said, well, he called her out on that, and then she said a week, and he said it's a week is even longer, it's too long. He's calling these people out and forcing them to do good things, right? Now they have to do that. This is part of it, right? Because we have to be okay with owning nothing and being happy in 2030. And this all culminates back to what the Truth Seeker guy is saying about the AI takeover. And that's ultimately where it's going to go down. In the midst of all of this good that he's doing, in the midst of all of that, he's going to be making those data centers. He's going to be putting in the infrastructure of what I think is the beast system, probably. You know, I'm just kind of parroting what that one guy is saying, but that's why I put him on the channel, is because I agree with everything he's saying. It makes the most sense, right? And think of this. We're always waiting for some sort of, like, event, right? I mean, even I'm making predictions all the time that never happen, right? That's why I didn't make a prediction about January 25th. I really thought there was something going to happen, right? But I was busy with work, and I just didn't put a video out because, you know, I said to myself, I bet you nothing happens. I bet you it's going to be, and this is the best way to do it, a slow burn. And this is why they go with all the theatrics, right? I say to myself, if they're so powerful and this is a huge cabal, why don't they just come out and do it? Why all the mind fuckery? And I guess they've realized that this is probably the best way to do it, is through this trickery.